Welcome to the Modern Esty. I am Coraline, your host, and this is the podcast where we keep it real about life as an esthetician. Each week, I'll share tips, lessons, and motivation to help you grow your business and thrive in this amazing industry. Whether you're just starting out or looking for a boost, this is your space to get inspired and level up. Let's dive into today's episode. Today's topic is one that I think every esthetician can relate to, and that is confidence, or more accurately, the lack of it when we're starting out. I'll be honest, confidence wasn't something I had in abundance of when I went solo, or even when I started as an esthetician. I doubted myself constantly, worried about if I was good enough, and compared myself to others who seemed to have it all figured out. But over time, I learned how to build confidence in my skills, my business, and myself. And in today's episode, I'm sharing my journey with confidence, how I dealt with imposter syndrome, and challenges I faced, and the small, consistent steps that helped me find my groove as an esthetician. I just want to jump right in and just start with something that I'm sure many of us have experienced before, and that is imposter syndrome. Now, if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, I'm going to just read it off my phone, like the actual definition. Imposter syndrome is the feeling of self-doubt despite clear evidence of competence and success, often leading individuals to fear being exposed as a fraud. That sounds crazy, but honestly, that feeling is very common, and you'll be surprised how many people feel this way. It's that feeling where you're looking at what others are doing and you're thinking, how do they even have it all figured out? Or what if I'm not cut out for this? I went through this a lot, especially when I was starting out as a new SD. And you know what sucks is that when you're in this state of imposter syndrome, that's when you start comparing yourself to everyone. You start comparing yourself to other beauty professionals who are already established, comparing yourself to these people on social media who look like they have it all, but probably don't. So this is where it's important that you acknowledge the fact that you are in this state of imposter syndrome, and you need to learn how to get yourself out. Is what they say. Comparison is truly the thief of joy. And if you don't know how to get yourself out, you're going to just get stuck in that rabbit hole. So if this resonates with you, just know that you're not alone. This is totally normal to feel this way. I feel like this all the time. But truly, confidence is built over time. It's not something that magically shows up overnight, and that's okay. So I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit on how I deal with imposter syndrome and how I kind of overcome this state and just kind of keep going with my life. So one, I want to say, is to truly embrace that learning curve. When I first started, I made the mistake of thinking that I need to know everything right away, because you're dealing with people. You want to make sure that you're on the top of your game, but here's the thing, you don't. It's okay to learn as you go. Start by giving yourself permission to work in progress. You don't have to have all the answers and know every single technique or product. What you need is a commitment to learning. That's what you need. You can't expect to know everything when you first start out. Even the first year or two, it just doesn't work that way. And I wish I had this mindset when I first started, because when I first started, I thought I had it all figured out. And no, that really bit me in my behind. The second thing would be practice self-compassion. This was big for me. I had to learn to speak to myself with kindness. If I made a mistake or something didn't go the way I thought it would, I used to get so harsh on myself, and that's terrible. I don't think anyone should do that. That's just recipe for disaster. But I realized that mistakes are part of growing. Like, how are you going to grow if there's mistakes. You need to learn somehow. And if we treat ourselves like a friend would, encouraging, supportive, and patient, we start to create an environment where confidence can grow. Like me, I say it all the time, like, hey, I learned from that. That's the past. We're not gonna do that again. We just continue on. You know what I mean? So we got to learn how to have self-compassion, just like how you talk to your friends about, girl, it's okay. You could try again. Do that to yourself. Be that friend for yourself, because honestly, there's going to be a time where you're not going to have that friend and it's just going to be you. So learn how to have some self-compassion. The third would be to refrain from negative thoughts. So one good way is to challenge self-doubt by focusing on facts. So the best way to kind of explain this is telling yourself positive facts about yourself. So one good one would be, let's see, if you went to aesthetic school and you graduated and you passed your state boards, that's a positive fact and that actually happened. Another one could be that you opened up your own lash studio, if it's home-based or even at a rental. You did that yourself, and it's a positive fact. That's something that actually happened and you accomplished. Another good example I'll use myself is I started this podcast with no experience of even starting a podcast, and it's out there, it's in the air, it's going, and that's a fact. That's something that actually happened, and it's something that is positive. So it's very good to kind of focus on those positive things that you have done and just focus and really dial down on that. Another big part of building confidence is surrounding yourself with those who will lift you up. I'm so grateful that I have my husband who supports all the crazy things that I'm getting into. Like even early on when I first went to aesthetic school, I went into school knowing someone, having a friend, and I feel like that helps. Shout out to you, you know who you are if you're listening to this. I think that made my school experience a whole lot easier because I had that person that I was already close to, and it just made everything more fun and easy. And I think it's very important to have those people who are supportive, knowledgeable, and positive. That's big. And I feel like it's truly important when it comes to surrounding yourself with supportive people, because if you're operating at a high frequency where you're just trying to grow as a person, you're trying to grow your business, make something for yourself, you have goals, and then you have these people at the bottom just trying to drag you down, always telling you what you're doing wrong, judging you. That's like hell to me. Like, I would not want that around me. And thank God I don't have that around me, because, oh my God, that's like the worst thing. It could just set you back. So find your tribe, those who understand, those who support, and also make sure you're also that positive influence in someone's life. You can't expect that and not give that energy back. You need to also be that positive influence. Another thing that probably sounds like a broken record because you see it all over social media, but it is trust the process. And this is true. Like even myself, I have a hard time with trusting the process, but I have learned to finally start and to let go of the need of instant results, because building confidence doesn't happen overnight, and it's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going your way. So I would say just start focusing on the little things instead of overwhelming yourself with looking too far into the future. Just think about what you want to achieve in your business this year, and then see what you could achieve in a month, and then see what you could achieve in a week, and then see what you could achieve in a day. That's just how you kind of break things down to kind of make you feel a little bit better. Confidence is truly a journey. It's not a destination. It's built through action, persistence, and honestly, the willingness to keep going, even when things are not going your way and when things get hard and tough. So just if you're going to take one thing out of today's episode, just let it be this, you are capable, you're talented enough, and you are enough just as you are. But that's all for today's episode. Thank you for listening to the Modern SD. I hope you feel inspired and ready to keep growing. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share with a friend, or leave a review. Keep going, keep learning, and I'll see you next time. Bye.